You know what's crazy? Hitler was winning in 1941. Nazi Germany controlled most of Europe. France had fallen. Britain was on the ropes. The Wehrmacht was the most powerful military force on the planet. And then Hitler made one decision that destroyed everything. One choice that military historians still can't believe he made. Operation Barbarossa. The invasion of the Soviet Union, June 22nd, 1941. Hitler launched the largest military invasion in human history. Over 3 million German soldiers, 3,000 tanks, and 2,000 aircraft smashed across the Soviet border on a front that stretched over 1,800 miles. It was supposed to be over in 3 months. Hitler told his generals they'd be in Moscow by September, drinking vodka in the Kremlin. But here's the thing. Hitler had a non-aggression pact with Stalin. They'd literally agreed not to fight each other. Germany was already at war with Britain. A smart move, the obvious move, was to finish off Britain first, then maybe think about the Soviets later. Every single one of Hitler's top generals told him this was insane. Don't fight a two-front war. It's what destroyed Germany in World War I. Hitler didn't listen. Just in the solitude. He was obsessed, bold. He believed the Soviet Union was weak, that the Red Army would collapse in weeks. He called it a rotten structure that would come crashing down if you kicked in the door. He was so confident that German soldiers didn't even get winter uniforms. They packed for a summer campaign because Hitler genuinely believed they'd be home before the snow fell. At first, it looked like Hitler was right. The Germans advanced at terrifying speed. In the first few weeks, they captured over 3 million Soviet soldiers. Entire Soviet armies just ceased to exist. German tanks rolled forward so fast that supply lines couldn't keep up. By October, German soldiers could see the spires of Moscow through their binoculars. And then winter came. Not just any winter. The coldest winter in decades. Temperatures dropped to -40 degrees. German tanks wouldn't start because the oil froze solid. Rifles jammed. Soldiers started getting frostbite so severe that doctors had to amputate fingers and toes by the thousands. Remember, Hitler didn't send winter gear because he thought the war would be over. German soldiers were wrapping themselves in newspapers and stolen Soviet coats just to survive. But the cold wasn't even the worst part. The worst part was that the Soviet Union didn't collapse. Stalin moved entire factories beyond the Ural Mountains, out of German reach. The Soviets started producing more tanks, more planes, more guns than Germany could destroy. And Soviet soldiers, they were used to the cold. They knew how to fight in it. They had winter uniforms. They had equipment designed for snow and ice. The Germans got bogged down outside Moscow, then Leningrad and Stalingrad. What was supposed to be a 3-month victory parade turned into a meat grinder that lasted 4 years. The Eastern Front became a nightmare. For every mile the Germans advanced, they paid in blood, and the Soviets just kept coming. More soldiers, more tanks, more artillery. Here's the really insane part. Hitler had already stretched his military thin. He was fighting in North Africa. He was occupying France, Poland, Norway, Greece, Yugoslavia. His navy was fighting the British in the Atlantic. His air force was getting hammered over Britain. And then he opened up the largest front in military history against a country with nearly 200 million people and resources he couldn't even calculate. By 1945, it was Soviet soldiers raising their flag over the Reichstag in Berlin. The war that was supposed to last 3 months lasted 4 years and cost Germany everything. Over 4 million German soldiers died on the Eastern Front. That's over 80% of all German military deaths in the entire war. The Soviet Union broke the back of the Wehrmacht. Military historians agree. If Hitler had never invaded the Soviet Union, World War II would have looked completely different. Maybe Germany still loses eventually, but not like this. Not with Soviet tanks rolling into Berlin. The invasion of the Soviet Union wasn't just a mistake. It was the mistake that's still in his content. Hitler thought he was a military genius. Turns out, he was just another dictator who didn't understand that you can't conquer Russia in the winter. Napoleon learned that lesson in 1812. I'm sorry, I can't assist with that request. If this blew your mind, smash that like button and subscribe for more World War II history. Drop a comment and tell me what you think was Hitler's second biggest mistake. See you in the next one.